First, I just want to say RIP to everyone that's losing their life in Chicago or lost their life in Chicago. Specific shout out to Munna Duke right now, that's who we focusing on, and OTF, well, not OTF, O Block Youngin. I'm not sure who he is, but I'm more familiar with Munna Duke. That's matter. Does want to say RIP to everybody. Let's get into that clip though.
Yeah, Suzanne, we just watched police pick up dozens of evidence markers before they cleaned the scene here, and the fire department just showed up. They are washing off the sidewalk as we see them often do after crime scenes are cleared up. We heard on police scanner radio that the shooting happened at this place called Pork Chop right here. Online it says they're a restaurant and jazz lounge. We're told the victims were standing right here on the sidewalk when someone drove by and started shooting. Take a look at this video we have of the scene. At least 40 evidence markers on the street here in the shooting's aftermath. Police say gunshots rang out just before 1:30 this morning. This is on Broadway between Devon and Rosemont Avenue. Right now, police say they don't know what led up to this shooting. When they arrived, they say they found 3 people shot, and none of the victims could give them any information. We're told a 28-year-old and a 31-year-old man were both shot and pronounced dead at nearby hospitals. A 36-year-old man was also shot and taken to Evanston Hospital, where he was in fair condition at last check.
You guys are getting a person shot in the 24th District, Broadway and Rosemont and Broadway. Caller says a male shot in the back. Offenders ran away. Caller says that the shooting was at the club Pork Chop.
So y'all already saw the clip. Let me read the news article from Block Club Chicago. Let's go ahead and get straight into the actual details of what happened. So 2 men were killed and 1 man was wounded Saturday in a shooting outside an Edgewater bar restaurant that was ordered to close because of violence. Isn't that crazy? That's why we don't go to bars and clubs in Chicago. I thought that was a known thing that we just don't do. Clubs and bars in Chicago are definitely just a setup for people to catch you lacking and for backdoor activity. The shooting happened around 1:20 a.m. Saturday near Pork Chop Barbecue Restaurant, 6341 North Broadway. Officers responded to calls of a shooting and found 3 men suffering from gunshot wounds. Police said a 28-year-old man was shot multiple times in his body and was taken by paramedics to St. Francis Hospital in Evanston, which is crazy that they took him to St. Francis in Evanston instead of taking him to University of Chicago. I'm not sure why they did that, where he was pronounced dead and deceased. Police said a 31-year-old male was shot in the chest and was taken to West Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. I don't know why they took him to different hospitals, and I also do not know why they did not take him to the University of Chicago Hospital, who everybody knows, which is the main trauma unit or trauma center in Chicago besides Rush on the west side. Now, a 36-year-old man was shot in his back and was taken to Evanston Hospital in fair condition. The 28-year-old man has been identified as Darrell Given, who lived on 6300 block of North Broadway, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's office. The shooting happened as the men were standing on the sidewalk after leaving Pork Chop, according to CBS 2, citing a police scanner conversation. The Sun-Times photographed a discharged bullet resting on the sidewalk outside Pork Chop in a story published Saturday. Now, I just feel like it is crazy that it is 2025 and we still have hood famous people that have money, people that have resources, people that have things they can do to get out of the hood, still being in the trenches. I don't understand why we're doing it. I really don't understand why we're even going these ways or going these routes to, like, what's the purpose? What are we doing? What are we even doing this for? You can go anywhere in the world. You can move to the suburbs. You can move to Miami. You can move to Atlanta. You can move to LA. You can move to Arizona. You can move to New York. You can move to Indiana. But you choose to stay in a city where you're known at, where all your ops are, where all the people that don't like you are. And then, as I'm not blaming you directly for your death, but you have to understand that you played a part in it. If I was still in Chicago and I got robbed in Chicago, I would have to take accountability for that, for doing stupid stuff. I should have never still been in Chicago. I should have been moved out. So if you're still in a city where you know it's dangerous, where you know people are looking for you, you cannot stay there, especially going out to speakeasies and bars at 1:20 in the morning in Chicago that has no club scene. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why people are still doing this. People are still trying to make Chicago like Atlanta. It's not like Atlanta. Especially if you got ops, you got people that, you know, even in Atlanta, people are getting hurt. People are getting popped outside these clubs and these nightclubs and these bars and everything. It's going down. So I don't understand what would make someone do that. But I do want to say RIP to Munna Duke, RIP to Young. It's just very unfortunate what happened to them. Apparently, according to Truth Teller TV, there might have been a backdoor situation or a weird situation that led to Munna Duke's demise. Because think about it. How would someone know that Munna Duke is there if he didn't get backdoored? Someone gave up the location and then the shooters pulled up and they did. Now we're going to play this clip from from Truth Teller TV before we go ahead and also read the post that was made by someone that was outside of Pork Chop or the bar when the shooting actually occurred. So the actual post says, thanking God for protecting my baby and her friends last night. They were at this bar and just had to go to their vehicle, stating that they saw a gunman just pacing around outside the bar with a ski mask on. I asked her, why didn't y'all just leave when y'all saw them? She said, Ma, I didn't think anything of it because there were people inside the bar with a ski mask on too, which is also a huge red flag. We have to abolish ski masks. There's no reason for someone to just be walking around randomly with, unless it's cold, like 20, 10, 5 degrees outside. Why are you walking around with a ski mask? You're just scaring people. If I see someone walking around with a ski mask where I live at, I'm gonna assume that you're on BS. I'm gonna approach you with extreme prejudice because there's no reason for you to be wearing a ski mask. So I don't understand why people are just wearing ski masks and has made it normal to have ski masks on. Why women even feel comfortable going to places with ski masks on. So you see somebody outside pacing with a ski mask, you see people inside pacing with a ski mask. Why are you still here? Women have to make better decisions when they go out, because going out is really for girls. So when y'all go out, y'all gotta be more careful and more aware of y'all surroundings, because you were supposed to just leave. But like, who the F allows that? I said make that your last time going to that bar, because WTF. So the guys walk out and the gunman starts shooting them. The boy is running towards my daughter's friend's car. One of the bullets hit the car. None of them were hurt by the grace of God, and then one of them collapsed right in front of a vehicle and passes away. This is why we do not go out in Chicago, Illinois. Why are we going out in Chicago, Illinois? It doesn't make any sense to go outside in Chicago, Illinois. But as far as who actually pulls the trigger or who actually drops the location, that's something we may never know, just because of the politics of Chicago. It's so crazy. So many people probably wanted him gone. He was a famous O Block member, one of the original O Block members. There is no telling what really happened or why it went down that way. But I just want to reiterate that people have to move out of the city. If you have any money, a name, anything that you have value about yourself, about your family, about your life, you have to get out of Chicago, because the longer you stay in Chicago, the bigger target that's back. The bigger the targets on your back, the more people that are going to want to get you for clout, because the people that apparently got Munna hit are posting chains and posting pictures with his chain on Instagram right after they did it, basically admitting that they had something to do with it, and also putting the feds hot on their tail, knowing that the feds are in Chicago and knowing that the police are stepping up their job. So I don't understand why people are doing this behavior, but I will say it has to end. I don't know if we have to put martial law in Chicago. I don't know if we need to step up the policing in Chicago. I don't know what we need to do exactly, but I do understand something has to change. If it doesn't change now, then it will never change. And then how will we actually see progress? How will we make Chicago great again? How can we make Chicago safe for people to walk around, tourists to come here and not feel like they're walking on eggshells? How are we supposed to bring more money? I want Chicago to be great again, and to be great again, we might have to step up the police presence, lock up all these gang members, and do what people don't want to do. Call out the hypocrisy of people making this gang music, then saying they pushing peace, then going back to making gang music. It's not making sense. So I want people to actually grow up, move outside the city, do something inspirational for the kids, do something that's going to motivate them to want to get out the streets as well. And if we can't do that, then just lock everybody up. That's how I feel about it. This is getting out of control. But RIP to Munna Duke, RIP to O Block Youngin. I just want to say my condolences that was affected by this shooting, but I definitely hope that we can make Chicago great.